particular company. Few years after 1973, no, few years after, now they have managed to acquire 100% stake in that company. And Aramco responsible for exploration. Your friends say O2 oil and the sell and BBR. It's a fully owned, or it's a state-owned corporation owned by the Saudi government. Not intermediary. BBR until resources now. Saudi Arabia A2 oil now to know state no, and they want absolute control over it. They sell how much or more release to baby. And at the end of the day, no, she cannot come directly to the country. And if you want to know why Saudi Arabia is where it is today, then you come to understand that indeed, because natural resources they have decided to manage it themselves. They own 100% stake. And this is what is happening. Drilling and as for no, you need companies with expertise and certain knowledge be among for your research and as for them. What you have to do, and they say, where what difficulty no, you can employ these companies with those expertise to come and work, whether drilling, extraction, because some of the rig or more extractive way, they set up something we call rig or more motorcycle. Most of the time, it may not be Saudi Arabia way, but companies that are available, that is what they do. So these are resources you can hire and pay them. But it doesn't mean that oil no so that is why the Aramco company is there. That is the parent company that is in charge of everything. In the or foul we are they own the resources. And most of the countries now, Middle East now, more oil rich, that is the strategy they've all adopted. And resources in a bomb what direct, then decide to pay for the kind of services that they require from other entities, other corporations, those with the resources. And then as a form now, and they are managing those resources. They develop your country and Saudi Arabia and then a powerhouse to reckon with in the global affairs. But unfortunately for us in Africa, all the precious minerals and then as a form instead of us to go by this same model by ensuring that we set up our own, your friend is saying, whether state-owned company or whatever government is fully in charge, and then we employ resources needed to do the extraction, whatever. So in the end, we pay them. We own everything to ourselves. Then we decide what to do with that. But this is the colonial practice. Foreign companies in the catch room say, "Komudanum, Kosheba beer, all free say gold and oil." So they go into the bush, they'll do those prospecting and as a form, so nasa oko identifier. Yamara say that particular company prospecting and as a form or identifies a baby or honor or that first option to refuse. And most of these companies never in foreign companies with the resources or mobile. Until because first option to refuse no one hold until you are forced to agree to some of the terms. And this is what we do. Instead of us say nationalize those your friends are first buy in the name of Ghana. Na man for if you are giving you a role to play, you are working for us. In the end, we pay you. No, we rather end up handing everything over to them, and then as they drill, and I say like gold deal, Ghana. This is what we do. Like Obuase, your kwa na your hand but you are find is a gold no one in a company no. Take it. So Otua, dia royalties. Royalties, until recently 5%, and sometimes carried interest in as a form, sometimes 10% in as a form. So we are not benefiting from the resources that belong to the people. We are not benefiting from those resources. Now, when companies in our air banner with the mobile, they carry away everything, living as poor. The people who go into the negotiation table with these companies in as a foreign end up servicing themselves because so when say behind the deals behind the deals no nyamako. So on no pocket fat, he's okay. Whether the country is benefiting or not, he doesn't give a damn about it. Because some of the companies in our backroom are jumana sebi almost short change no oko various communities no cry na sebi people there, instead of us to set up a fund and insurance and maybe a certain percentage of whatever gains be a company union is paid into that particular account for the development of the community. No, we don't even do that. That is why today if you go to Obuasi, look at the unemployment rate there. Look at how desperate the youth have become. The only benefit the people of Obuasi area from the gold, diseases, being exposed to cyanide, and though whether you live or die, nobody cares. But elsewhere, you need to set up a community development fund. A certain percentage of the money will be put into the particular account. That money is meant for development within the locality, and ensuring a certain percentage of the workforce do come from the same place. And other benefit a state in Benya. By no both are him for political leaders will just go or no benefit and they don't care. That is why over the years we have all the natural resources in the world, talk about all the precious minerals in the world across the continent of Africa, but none of us in the team leverage these resources to achieve any economic success. None. But if you look the other side, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, some of these emerging forces, oil no more rely on, and look at how far they've been able to position their country. Look at how far they have come. The same resources we have here because of greed. And this is the colonial practice over the years, and not years practice. This time I finding lithium. No, the story is going to change. And then it didn't change much. It's the same trend. Memobia nada, nothing has changed. It is the same deal. So where it is 5%, like the royalties here, come as mean the discussion here elevated to 10%. Nothing has changed. Carried interest where it is 10%, 3% in Abatoso, and no. And I see setting up a community development fund of 1%. 1% to be paid into that particular account for development. Nothing has changed. This is our resources. The people are supposed to benefit. You can't just hand over. And you see, maybe people are not quite clear with what is happening. Listen, lithium the world is diversifying energy sources. You all know, say we are all moving away from fossil energy to your friends saying natural or green energy. That is what is happening right now. So countries in making move away, and there is this global projections that by 2050 thereabout, we are going to cut down massively on fossil energy. So what it means is and petrol those nearman and ye used to come in as a phone and maybe bedroom. We nyaka use petrol. Very soon, yeah. So what is electric cars I shall say about, because fossil when the bania this climate changes when I canon the carbons and as a phone cause damage. So the world is cutting down on fossil saying energy any emission entity affected the planet. That is what we are doing. So the world is moving away or shifting away from oil. And then if the world is moving away from oil, then the new game changer lithium, because battery, because some of these electric cars run on batteries, lithium ion battery. And the lithium the new gold I was as is when there. And in the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years, that is the deal. And don't forget, some of these laptops, Apple phones, for batteries, made from lithium. And there is an excessive or intense global demand for lithium. And we are mine, not fortunately for us, what may identify lithium in such quantity or at such scale. What you have to do is to adopt the modern trend. Sebeya with me approaching that particular say no in a way a bit of benefit to people. With that particular thing in mind and looking at its global value at this time, what you do is you set up a company named in the name of the state that will be in charge of everything, just like the Saudi people have done. Then, if it is about say you tuning as if you need the resources, you hire all the resources needed, and as we go on, you train your own people in how to deal with these things. And where you need assistance, you go for it. Yeah. So what we need to do, they say, only money, the resources we need, we just hire, we are near to then the whole thing becomes then we set up a factory, a processing factory, turn into something valuable, and add value to it. When you add value to it, Ajuma nipa deseni benye biaye ayo kroma. The company na ya handle where man is under no obligation so on set it up, because according to the document, government to say want me and set it up that your friends say processing your friends say factory be or home add the value, then a honor government may give you the second option to be that would never be a reality. Don't forget bauxite na any sign hydro for na can hon sem bebre till date. Aluminium when I plant and I say I make sure say I add the value to it, and I have until date nothing has happened. So this is the same trend. But I think a state I take charge and I can high resources to do the extraction, exploitation and everything on in the name of the state. Whatever bit of technology, whatever bit of human intelligence be a here we can service it and pay them, and the end we own it. Same thing applies to our gold. But we have handed over this particular piece of land, Awoya, in the central region, Mine area, for 15 good years. For 15 good years. And what we are getting from this, the same titi royalty deal now, yes, from 5% to 10%. Carried interest from 10% to 15 to 13%, and then 1% to be retained in a community development fund. That isn't enough. That isn't enough. Looking at where we are and looking at the value of lithium at this time, the new world that is emerging. So I wonder why anybody will sit somewhere and say, oh, this is the best deal Ghana has ever had. Now compared to Rollins Pencil, compared to, must we always be doing comparison? Must we always be doing this NDC MPP comparison and NDC 40 10% and then 15% and then it is better? Really? Can we move forward? We are talking about a population now, a plague with poverty, disease, youth unemployment, and then as for we want solution. People want answers. People want a situation to be turned around. And with all these precious minerals and resources within the country, the intelligent mind, a bit me turning these arenas into a certain arena, a bit me creative employment for people, a bit me creative value, a bit me sika. But consistently, you're pushing away to foreign companies because we need everything that they get, they carry it away. You're too oil in commercial quantities. How much and oil, to me, I contribute to the life of the ordinary people in Ghana. Nigeria is the same thing. Oil no more to no broso. Because I say go to Nigeria and look at poverty index there. But on the other side, other countries, I'm coming. Yes, same way, Other companies, and yet the same thing, but they are doing better. They are doing better today. Because you see, Saudi Arabia oil even when it comes to protection, abra and Topana Shasia, our Middle East, who say that particular place, and yes, stable, then They had a deal with America. From about 85 years in it, that deal still stands. It's a winning. Now, where your mind, where a terrorist, either state actor or a non-state actor. If you go to Saudi Arabia oil field, now America will crash you. Because they have a security arrangement with them to ensure that they protect them. So during the Gulf War, why America was in the Middle East now was to protect that particular oil field. So you see, when you have the resources, you have the power to ensure that you hide all the resources, all the technology, all the best intelligent minds around the world to ensure, say, you secure whatever you want to do. You pay them, the rest is yours. But we have created a certain phenomenon of having the natural resources. This is what we do. We give it to somebody. Chale monfana mutua mumaya royalties. Mutua, Mamaya 10% share. And you want to develop at this time technology bang and the here and the winia. Want to me and yeah, at least let's try it for once. Let's try it for once. Enti obeti Africa or natural resources or Africa or yo, none of them and I benefiting because they will go out there and bring people to come and extract, pay people who are handing over that particular thing to them. So at the end, natural resources meant for everybody, the money will end up in few people's pocket and then the foreign company will take it away and they are happy. It's a good deal. And people sit on TV and celebrate this mediocrity. People sit on TV and they justify these things. People sit on TV and they are happy because the government, the deal is better than the previous government. When we can go for the 100% deal, because I'm telling you, that is how Aramco started. When it started, it was Arabian American oil company, and now all pretty together. But at some point in time, by 1973, now acquired 75%. By the late 1970. Now they wholly own 100% stake. So and the Aramco now all run away. It's a wholly state-owned enterprise. I run it, and they have power. They have the muscles. They have everything to ensure and that they can decide which amount of oil to let say in a day, and almost short change here. So even if they decide to reduce that, it will affect the prices. Because natural resources in your body, they have absolute control from nitwo, in the processing, to its sale, to the price. To the price. If Saudi Arabia decides in a day, oil back market, you see what will happen. Because they own the resources, they control it. That is what we're supposed to do. Africa, Ghana, you see gold, there you gold. Fortunately, we have other resources. Gold, how much is it adding? And how are we benefiting as people, the young people? Even if you go to communities where these precious minerals are mined, go and look at their lives there. The chiefs, the people don't care because at the end of the day, they will settle them. They don't care about what happened to their people. That is the kind of sick mentality these people have. So until say, you better say, na ye self-interest, greed, and those cheap politics. This is our homeland. It will take only us to ensure that we make it better. You think America or any other country will come to Ghana and make your country better? Whenever they come here with a certain interest in mind, and that interest is the interest of on a country. But we keep on selling everything, giving out everything, because certain people will feed fat. Now at this modern time, in 21st century arena, so you have people sitting on TV celebrating there, and now the lithium or more, unless you don't understand what is happening on the global stage, because lithium today is the new gold, is the new diamond. And on my war, deposit no there are not many. And a few years to come, company where you handing over 15 years agreement I'm telling you, you'll be shocked the amount of money they will pull from this country and go. Now the people in the central region who are custodians of the land, who are supposed to at least benefit from this particular thing, will continue to live in poverty, misery, and out of their activities. And they are not going to create employment for anybody. ya ma China for kwan ba have to gold. And when they do those galamsey na, do you know say even not here na they suspect a gold maybe no, they ship everything from this country. How can we be so stupid like this? And people sit on TV in the name of partisan politics, try to justify these things. And then and say if you have the resources and as for even partners, there are a whole lot of models that we can employ to ensure say we are not shorting value for money. Among for setting up state-owned enterprises, other yen setting up state-owned enterprises, I keep asking myself. Because China's example has proven say it's possible, it's workable. Because the last time I was telling you, so if you go to China, it's a communist state, and such countries, the kind of capitalism we pursue, it's a state-owned capitalism. It's unlike America and UK, where it is a private, private-led capitalism. Or more than a state-owned. So whenever you hear a Chinese company coming to Ghana, it is not a Chinese private company; it's a state-owned enterprise with the full might of the Chinese government behind their back. And look at the amazing things these people are doing. Even some of the banks, Emma Ghana alone, no, you see them as private banks. They are not private. They are state-owned banks. So if countries have made it possible and these state-owned enterprises are working, can't we do the same thing? You fire pine, you hand it over to a Chinese private company, so and we boast of say you're training engineers, school of technology, you don't see which engineer mobile. And the most interesting thing is that you go to the site, people who are doing the actual work are Ghanaians. So if we cannot build our own roads, we can't build them. We can't build bridges. We can't build anything. But we deceive ourselves, saying we are training engineers. Your friends saying but we can't do anything for ourselves. How do we expect to develop? Opportunity, we hand it over to private, to foreign companies, because all the roads in this country, when we can, for one, set up a state-owned enterprise, money, all the resources that it need to compete with these foreign companies, so that at least try being here there this road this state-owned company and at least you are sure anybody that will be employed by the company is a Ghanaian who work and earn the kakra out so better the money stays. But China ko loan. No, I catch us a loan na media amount no. Because that is almost all the major loan the same thing. Oko Brazil so loan na circular. Or catch us say Brazilian contractors in the DH and just on funny sika amount. Na sika no wasi ajiha sika ni nyina sign ko. Na what na usi akwa kutua. Forever you become indebted to them. So all this training, we cannot build our own road. And the countries are moving to the next stage, and people are investing in nuclear arsenal and so forth on their own soil. Now, if you can't build your own road, what is your use as a country? Yes, Albert is farm cocoa. Albert the backbone of our economy for quite so long. Value bang, and in the last 50 years, yet me added to cocoa. To the extent that Ghana buying current mean to cocoa. You better cocoa. I just see a cocoa syndicated loan. They about to cocoa near we are Kakutiaka and the cocoa near Yan. How can we be so foolish? And people sit here and they say they want to go to heaven. Really? We can't manage anything. Nothing. Because a country I wouldn't even build the one because I will road there or some fast over here. Because on my BO2 point be rely on idea with me a year oh the chrome. That is your ticket. I've been telling you about the Chinese story. They sat down and realized that we're in a competition with America. When it comes to numbers, we have. So what can we do? Let us leverage our numbers. Because say way remote way and a mayor ton American so ye way at America population yes saying do send a bit me at me population be saying me China population is up times be 2 or times 3 of America and the ideal be a create on $1 when the benyasika leveraging the numbers for economic transformation, and that is what they've been doing. So when they decided to devalue their currency, it was a strategy. Yeah, see, you know, a devaluer, I said dollar no, a cedi devaluer, na ye woo, yeah, because we don't produce anything, we don't produce shit. Oh, chroma, but they produce everything. So they will deliberately devalue the yuan, and you know. Answer na benya $1 no aboabo no so koto iPhone no chale na bra wa bre no na enye easy until you have no other option than to use the Chinese yuan, buy Huawei or buy yuan or any of the product that they are producing. And for that reason and Huawei started, look at where they are today, because anyashe they know say they control the Chinese market and they have a number of people who buy, because the dollar and the yuan, the distance is so huge. Say Wakakoto iPhone back on now change it to Chinese sika. It mean a taboo sign. So no motivation, no incentive. Whether you like it or not, you have to buy those produced in China. And when you buy, you create employment. The economy will grow. We are not doing any of these things. Yes, Nkrumah set up these state-owned enterprises and then as a phone in you're good in our toning you're good in our toning because me say bra ye brain in key a greed obia pese or yes or chain and ye bra ye brain in no and that is the concept. Now even your traditional settings, you cry the same thing. I know better social media say or any way such in class 7 at this time, at this time, these people are supposed to be an agent of change, helping the young people to at least make it in life. Bibi, you to know so at least a bit because governance, various actors may come together, profess alternatives. I say, provide a way out. These people are supposed to come together and I am to fight against this massive corruption and injustice in our system by raising our voices and as well, because Tetenda is him for a call and then I him for a muye de day one call order. O the two will be some cry or but you so good. Because it is not about going to war or be fight quite for so better within how you help transform lives of people close to you. That is all that leadership is about. But that isn't the case. All facets of your way crumble down. Near kaka little things I yen bit me a boy. Amasabi. Economy news what me a jena yeno. Sandia manu no and your tam na your handy over. Your tam near handy over. And you see, some of these foreign interests will keep coming. They will keep coming. Because over here, recent time, go and read about Chinese investment in Africa in the last 20 years. A switcher in any other country, because they have realized that all the precious things needed for whatever agenda is in Africa. And so they see what DR Congo, tanky mines, copper, cobalt, which is a radioactive material, and I know here to boost their military might. So they went there and invested heavily. We are not dying a corner or wosem or mansem in our court. Oh, they are Congo. Because they are investing significantly in some of these things. And the uranium, a 1 year dias so a man for a pair, need deposit, Ubenyano, our Africa has a. But country, me body crimes, won't see, because here a dunkolize or a here bubu, but they have uranium. One of the precious way this atomic bomb, atomic bomb. This new nuclear arsenal as if I buy Nina Sanyamano a had on buffer free decor. Now, oh, here can I first say Tom Momo. Now, hear what is happening even on the global market. Cry, bachelor say Nimyansa and you go Africa. I'm saying Yankopon taking the time and or boy and when we or buy any assorted granny. Because the way we think, sometimes you begin to wonder. And as I see soon, I proper heaven. Because I didn't begin with say economically you empower your people. People become self-sufficient. That is the most important thing. The most all the distance economic empowerment of your people. Because when people become economically empowered, they become self-sufficient and independent minded. Because we need your obedi, we need your besana. What dan will be a so consistently, the ordinary or the average African youth, is in captivity in his own land. Because economic independence, deliberately, has been taken away. And we fancy selling these things to foreign foreign enterprises. Now our people are suffering. And think about ye Jimmy Kra na all the years, ye gold co, ye diamond co, ye bauxite nano, ye da come China for a co. If you understand the global trend, now we need to discover lithium in such quantity. What do? You ask yourself, say, those agreements now belonging to antiquity, apart going forward, the rules of engagement must change. But you don't go and argue, say, it was 10%, yeah, there was 13%, it was 5%. Yeah. So that is enough, it should be celebrated. Really? If look at the kind of economy you find your and there. Apart from say yam bobosia, na yam fat taxes and 20%, nothing. You just come free baby because oil then as a form of these are paltry amount. When you're supposed to own everything fully. Now you sign the toll contract. Nipano, I buy for background to me because some of these agreements are subject to international arbitration. Once I sign here, you can't just abrogate them. You can't. And now you sign here 15 years, 30 years, 40 years, or whatever happens, they don't care. It's this lithium the American one said, so agreement now 15 years. 15 years now Kufa don't grow for more even. 15 years. Even Nipano more around the area no cry awoya infante pem central region hokrano. Those people cry will not benefit a damn. They say omo benefit ombenya ya de eno hia. And then near my best say that is the only benefit that they will get. Which is no different from Obuasi, which is no different from other areas as Anema we koso. So leadership, yeah, the 2 me money pa, yeah, yes, no. In first I wasn't saying, but the whole essence of leadership, they say, yeah, Baba boy about human welfare at the year to empower people, to lift people up, to create a conducive and a serene economic environment. Sabi, a bit me still for some certain growth. Abema sabi nipa obiya nya bibiya ne nipa no mo wo man mu no obiya de na ho kakra. Ko amanfo ebra kwa Europe, amanfo ebra kwa America nyina sikaduro bi ni ba bia yekodi o. The needed economic incentives, our environment has been provided. All you got to do is to get there and find a job. You don't need any protocol. Jobs are readily available. So you may not like it, but if you decide to do it, at the end of the day, you'll get what you want. In our situation, we cannot create jobs for someone for Benyabiaye. Those who are working are not being paid well. The only enterprise a flourish, a good, a politics. An arena that is supposed to be reserved for few people with the intellectual weight and the mind to calibrate things. A form of a human. Say, Sankophone, a form phone in your be a politics. So, Adriana, you the dream for mine, you will not find any at the top. That is why sometimes when the decision comes, now you begin to ask yourself, I cry your mind or my and as I'm putting for and as a wine. You only marvel because your motivation is greed. Obia benya sikadi meyeye. Even in a normal individual life, one kasa wadam for now. Wouldn't the panel kasa? The upper through. It's all that matters to the ordinary and average African. Immediate gratification or channel fahon the obenya a free ho ene. Enti ye dini ya share ase. Ehwamamu na yenya no. How come and say benya oil in such commercial quantities? Now you see a benefit. Yet to me, ye be a hospital, ye be see hospital or chroma. I just say a cobobosia, ye be a choir, I just say a cobobosia, ye see school, I just say a cobobosia. Why? So can't we just sit down and tell ourselves that enough is enough? There is the need for a turnaround. We need to turn the situation around and show that no. Economy cannot be debt driven. Going forward, no, a buyer credit driven because we have all the resources. I said, you're putting it to good use near using a you benyasika. And then look, countries like Iran and Asifonum, otherwise, Sabi. A man for consider more to be rogue countries, because of natural resources or more oil and there. Look at the kind of military might even Iran is building. If an oil loan free because they have the oil, and some of these countries, the oil apart from oil, no, some of them don't have any other thing. Ghana, Nigeria, these African countries, aside the oil, no, all the precious minerals you can think of, no, just mention gold, diamond, bauxite, magnesium, copper, cobalt, and then all the precious resources are here, but and then how to manage it. And I keep telling you, sir, you can have all the natural resources in the world with the nyansa you waste, and that is what is happening to Africa. Ubenya winim the other baye. Because it has never occurred to anybody who say natural resources have been factory being process. Now, Omaya, Kwame Nkrumah in his wisdom, in the independence era, no, not onyum who said oil be or baby, because then exploration, yes, there was this possibility, but ehu nyansa esi to say I'm fine refining crude krumha. 50 years after, or yes, it took years and sana yenya your first oil discovery. So he saw the vision. That is how reasonable men of conviction, that is how Nema. And there you be who yenya oil na sabi yadan yaman krufo a yeje kakra bi no kra no to no siwo aye white elephant. Obviously, a ton, obviously, a ton, torn your waist and they see her. A car is soon no, your butcher wouldn't have a good tea. A car. So when you look at all these things and you wake up in the morning, you sit on TV, you hear people doing those nasty, foolish arguments on TV, where the two ways, now where there are two ways, so you begin to ask yourself, say, can we move on as a country at all? Because if politics is reduced to this trivial, medieval kind of argument, and where are we going? We can get nowhere. We can get nowhere. And as we speak, there is no indication that we are moving from this. There is no indication. Because politics, is the same old-fashioned politics. Nah, either you are here or you are there. Either you are for or you are against. No constructive argument. Nothing. When you criticize something, people see you as an enemy of the state. So I know the day, either you conform to, and that's what we are on a couple of biatana. But we are one way, because on mine, then the dark thing and the dark for my essay, Even the unborn ones, there is no hope. How much more ya say and there? my culture say life is not about the ubenya diama uyefuna mena de bia you have all you want. A just society where anya hwe yankasa kotoka abobi obia basic needs there the person needs to rely on obi for the basic needs the obedi the obeshe access to quality health care and then as for these are basic things and supportable water. These are basic things that will be. My culture say nobody is asking government some koto Ferrari in chicha mobia koto pizza and opache mobia koto. No. Make sure people have access to basic essentials in life, food, shelter, and then look at housing deficit in even Accra housing deficit. A true circle in Yumako Hedipo Mugu Kwan home. Omo damo when the baby that. Because the system is such that won't mean hind our cry high net. Yawamra bukum say all the dine air rent you cannot go beyond 6 months. We have rent control. They are supposed to enforce that government to ensure that particular thing. And that hind our cry, you need to pay 2 years or more. So imagine you being a young man, you want to start life. Now pedanya dema. As you need to cough out a whooping 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 and over, and sana when ya space then I said what the obeda it's crazy. We see governance and politics, leadership is there just to ensure that we still manage the system in such a way that some of these things will not happen, because that is what leaders do. Create a certain convenience for the ordinary and the average, the marginalized in society. That is all that politics is aimed at addressing. Creating certain ease for these vulnerable people. Say, my buying decide is going forward. Or BNOS or the dime, even 1 year. You see the kind of comfort people will have in this country. A young lady, 2 years, of first kind of wife, so some of them may end up doing things otherwise they've promised themselves never to do. When all that we need is a certain commitment on the part of government to ensure that, hey, you can give out a room and as a rent will be more than 6 months. No, just enforcement. Nobody will do it, because they are the same people who are building and renting out to people. And the estate in as for you. And yet the same people and the building. So Emrano enforce why to go against them. Missing greed and they greed. You know, you pay your destiny on a monthly basis. It may not be all the cases, but majority now, I know those in UK, some do on monthly basis. But some deduction, so pressure be a new so ko raise $4,000 for to your dying cat and son away baby do theater. Emrani wo, but to enforce it keke krani yasem. So leadership now but 1 year to know nyansa be the womb when it is not aimed at addressing these basic social needs of society. People just want to live rich, large. That's all that matters to them. Politics. Until see a blessed sign approach, be a mentality, and you may make sure say, Sabi. Central to everything that we do, no, I care for humanity. You put human at the center of everything. Abasa, I put two breaks on some of the things that we do. And yes, I need the Hushim Chenche and this MPPO, Kenya Sasama Minti on as a for nothing work. And I keep telling people, say sometimes it's not even just about political parties. Oh, we the people. You see, sometimes it's so easy to blame everybody and leave yourself out. That is the easiest thing. That is why sometimes I don't believe in this NDC in your MPP in your, I don't believe in those things. The core at this particular issue, I can say, nipa dasani the attitude. So you can take away the NDC, you can take away the MPP. Confide Jesus Christ the brass or metanagana. So if the same psyche mentality, the intimian draining address it, you a female wa drain on horo and find shame and yakama. The same trend. Because whoever becomes president will work with Ghanaians, same people, same mentality. But we are not willing to change. So we may scream for change, but even whoever comes will come and do the same thing. That is why my focus has always been targeting the mind. And that's a start free. I don't care who you're voting for, but the truth is making sure say there is a good reason. Don't invest emotions into politics. Don't invest emotions. You go there for something. At the end of the day, if what the person promised you, on deliver, there is no emotional attachment, no emotional commitment, no love. It is about respect. That's all. Once the person truncates, you truncate. That's all. Because that is the only way power worlders to do the right thing for the people. That is the only way. But people sit somewhere comfortable and say, yeah, they am na your friend say, yeah, they omo ya to ha eti the baba bia no ya ha na yenim nipa ne behu se wunnim nyansa sabi adwen nyame boy no amfa adwen wu odwan bi enti no obe take you for granted. So what you deserve on fam because onim say do about our one gain. But if we take ourselves to Europe and other places, look at the kind of politics that they do. It's a bit different from what we do here. They say there is no perfect system anywhere, no perfect system. But Nipa no contesting him said the people are there, no, and their emotions. Yes, there are those who are typical GOP, who are typical Republican, who are typical this. But no creating no partners who say policies and initiative are buying their banner. Crime ban and faso abo nipa, and vote will be based on those things. And yes, and now your wometum your tum say. And I may free say no and ama we've been taken for granted, no. Akwaku jina so. And see a basic hospital si Kumasi Afari or Tramodern Hospital president on yet. Nipa no mo ho no so to abama no ekoduru abato a ebedi line so de anije ne momobe akoto amana kwaji t-shirt enti nipa no to ha respect be na ode be ma wo especially a high to abama obi anadwen say onim nyansa achan obi a okroma, and it's the reason why we are voting for them. To abama obi a the attitude, the posture to say onu nim nyansa achan to no do so but we vote for people to be in servitude, to come and serve we the people. But we rather worship them. So there is no respect. They decide to do whatever that they want. So I'm telling you, sir, the lithium deal now, man, for Namana is the best deal. The best deal now, woman, Nyansa is the same thing. I mean, a short what to say, Matisse, former Chief Justice of Ayakufu, is out there saying the same thing. But say they will all come back to where we started from. Because ade a yehu ye no anema omo afe no muhu no yehu ye enye nne. And we saw it coming. And then former Chief Justice number Tenasia was said be a ban and Kwarasem no odi, and that this lithium deal no must not go through. Because how do you explain this to your kid? Say you have discovered lithium in an era where the world is moving away from fossil energy to green energy, and lithium is a game changer. Cars na banning most of them lithium battery. And around the world, no, exploration air coso just to identify some of these things in their quantities are sustaining the green era, the green energy era. So when you be ask yourself, is it not gold? You leverage it for economic transformation. You leverage it. For a bit me. Yeah, the moment fan of my royalties, the same thing. when you nipa that's any but TV so by justify idea way na yen celebrate and celebrate. That tells you where we as people backward thinking, and we are not making any effort. So I'm sure that it's weekend. Most of you have other things doing, and I don't want to waste much of your time. And you I'll come on Facebook and we do live because it's been a long time. Yes, I've been running around, but thank God, and I'm a bit stable. From time to time, we will try and engage. Thank you very much for your time. For Backyard, actually, thank you very much. Me sure say and nyame adomo ho ye Sierra, Benjamin, Albert, yes, Nana. Yes. So it's good. It's good. I bet me.
Hey, you want me to talk? I was just listening. I'm enjoying listening to you. Do your work. And I'm also doing my work over here. My share were all over the platform for them to come here.
All right. Thank you very much.
Next time, they just tell me you are coming here.
All right.
So, yeah, will not disturb you. We have to, let your message go everywhere. I'm here to support everybody.
Sure.
Don't worry. Just let me know. Maybe anytime, maybe share. Now it will tell people that you are online. So,
all right.
What is the little we can do to help? Keep it up.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. So, like I'm saying, we need to push for. We need to push for more because what we have and enough. That colonial administrative tactics now over the years, and as a result, yatina poverty, because there is no single road will chroma, when we have all these natural resources and everything. It's very painful, to be very honest, unless you want to immerse yourself in this partisan politics. You don't want to see beyond that. But the truth in this, if you look at all that we have, and if you understand politics, you can't be a happy person. You can't. And knowing there was a people who are managing these resources are not people as happy. Anyway, so like I said, we will meet on Facebook. I'll try and get in touch because time and Saturday I don't want to spend much time here, we will definitely get back and then see what we can do. Thank you very much.